Hello everyone, I'm Father Ron at Sacred Heart. Thank you again for joining us on this Saturday. And this weekend we are celebrating Christ the King, which is the end of our liturgical year. And the interesting thing about the gospel this weekend is that we hear that salvation comes from feeding those who are hungry, visiting those who are in prison, caring for the ill, and that's where salvation is. So what I'd like to do today is introduce you to Bill and Kate, because they are our new food pantry coordinators, and we are developing again our food pantry for Sacred Heart Church. So, Kate and Bill, would you mind introducing yourselves? Kate?
Kate Gioglio, and I am new to the parish, and I'm happy to be part of this.
Great. And Bill?
Bill Johnson. I'm a member of the parish, and I came to this after several months of not being able to work in other ministries that had a lot of people contact associated with them, and this just kind of fell out into my lap, and after some thought and prayer, do I really want to get involved with this? It came out with a big yes, and I am just very happy to be able to work with Kate and Grace and everybody to help get this going, Father.
That's great. We are so grateful for your participation in this and your leadership. You know, as we look at, of course, these are very, very difficult days with COVID and various restrictions that we have. Is there one thing that we need to know about kind of the reformatting of our food pantry at this point?
Well, the number one thing is everybody will be served. There's no requirement to get any kind of vouchers from any other organization, and there's no limit to the visits they can make during the month. We will be open one day a week only, on Thursdays for 2 hours, and they will be provided basically non-perishable food, separated into 3 different groups. One would be a bag or box of food for an individual, one would be for a family, and one would be for an individual who is unsheltered. And those will be put together specifically for those 3 different groups of folks. The other thing is that we will be incorporating as many volunteers that are willing to commit to this ministry and are willing to work with us through a rotating basis on Wednesdays and Thursdays, and we will be limiting that to parishioners, registered parishioners.
That's great. I'm really grateful for that. And also, we also understand that because of the COVID thing, we don't have to worry about vouchers from Westside Cares, right? So this is a very new format. We are trying our best to continue the mission of our parish, and of the Eucharist itself by feeding people. Now, Kate, I know you have a very interesting background with food pantries. Could you just tell us in a few sentences about that background?
I moved here from the East Coast, and that was after Hurricane Sandy. So at the time of Sandy, we were evacuated from our home, and I lost my job. And I just wandered into a church one day where I saw a whole bunch of cars parked and said, what can I do to help? And the next thing I knew, I was, part of the Visitation Relief Center.
That's great. Well, we're so grateful to have both of you. You know, as you look at this in terms of a spiritual foundation, what is your take on the parish in terms of helping to feed people? What does that mean for you?
Well, this parish is kind of unique in the parishes that I've been involved with in this city, in that it is very strong in the area of outreach to those in need. It's very inclusive. The demographics here are different than other parishes, with a great age range and ethnic diversity. And so I'm just very, very, I feel at home here. A little bit of history is that this was my parish when I was a teenager, an errant teenager, I might add.
Just a few years ago.
It's a few years ago. So it's kind of like coming home. Of course, the church has been renovated and is so beautiful, but I have, my parents were both members here, and their funerals were here, and my kids were baptized here years and years and years ago. So I'm just really happy to be back here.
That's great. Well, listen, thank you both so much. This is such an important posture for us as a parish to continue the ministry that we have of feeding people, but also in that, of course, we are also fed in so many ways. So thank you both so much, Bill and Kate, and thank you all, and have a great week.